This is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Thursday. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report. Episode 266. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in the bunker tonight. After, last 4 podcasts at American Whiskey. Last night we were there. Game Day Live. Short Sky and Beer Baron. Nick Villano and I was at American Whiskey for State of the Fan Address, and then Devils After Dark after the game. Scotty at SiriusXM Liquid Metal and I were recapping the game that was. Although the Devils lost to the Boston Bruins, we still had a pretty good time. Yeah, tonight's topics, want to just talk a little bit. Well, Devils are heading over to Pittsburgh, or they're probably in Pittsburgh right now, to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, who moving up in the standings, figuring out ways to win a Metropolitan Division game showdown to end the year 2022. Will be a good one. Next 2 games are very important for the New Jersey Devils when there's Metropolitan Division implications. Devils haven't been playing well last 10 games. Or their record hasn't been good. But I don't think they did that bad against Boston. But now they have a chance and opportunity to play the Penguins and Carolina Hurricanes on New Year's Day. That's going to be a big sports Sunday. With the Hurricanes playing at the Rock against the New Jersey Devils. Plus, you've got Giants football, Jets football. You've got all the bowl games. Sunday, and the Winter Classic as well. Fans ditching their Southwest tickets, driving to Boston for the Winter Classic. Steve Engel says, "What's up, peeps?" Joseph Lenham says, "Metro's getting tight." Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what, it's getting tight, but the Devils still have opportunities. And as bad as they have been playing, or at least their record showing, they're still in it. And I know a lot of fans are just complaining. There's nothing to complain about. The Devils are relevant in December. In the beginning of the season, if you asked any of us, would you take the Devils being relevant by New Year's Day? And not talking about draft lottery and prospects and World Juniors, which we'll get to in a sec. But the Devils will be relevant, and when you don't have to tank anymore, we take it. We take it any way we can. And the Devils are still in it. But have you seen the standings? It's starting to really get tight. And tiebreakers are in play. 3-point games are in play. Devils need to kind of shake off some of the stuff in the last 10 games and try to get back in their winning ways. But not getting any points against Boston, it's a shame. But you move on. And moving on to Pittsburgh, that the Devils are. But I want to talk about Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby, you know, the whole thing about Alexander Ovechkin going for all-time goals record by an individual player in the NHL, now trailing Wayne Gretzky. But something happened to Sidney Crosby. In Canada, they will be honoring him. I believe, with the highest citizen award for, on and off the ice, more off the ice, his contributions to charity. I mean, a lot of times over the years we rooted against him, but, if I had my pick, who would I want on my team between Alexander Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby? I would take Sidney Crosby in a heartbeat. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Ovechkin. I don't mind the celebrations. I don't mind the sweet goals. He's a very good player. Both of them are first ballot Hall of Famers. I mean, can you imagine Alexander Ovechkin if he did not have those work stoppages? I mean, his first year, which would have been his rookie season, was actually the entire season was canceled. That could have been about 40 to 50 goals there, based on what he did in his rookie season when play resumed for the NHL. So, he could, with in 2012, there was a 48-game season, and then COVID. I mean, Ovechkin could have had the record or knocking on the door right about now. But those are the what-ifs, and congratulations to Sidney Crosby. I mean, for all the things that we whine about Sidney Crosby, or, that it was rigged, that draft lottery back in 2005, these aging veterans, I can't believe it. It just seems like just yesterday, it was Crosby and Ovechkin coming into the league, and it was just like the next generation, the new NHL, taking that torch. All the amount of games, both Stanley Cup champions, but Sidney Crosby, that's a high honor in his country to be honored. And I thought I mentioned it in there. But, we're playing Pittsburgh. The Devils playing Pittsburgh tomorrow. We'll have Game Day Live and Devils After Dark after the game. Also, Luke Hughes. Seems like he's got some long-range sniper abilities. Scoring again. Sweet goal from the right side, and just a considerable amount of distance. And he's just got pinpoint accuracy, putting the puck on the net. And you know what? It was a sweet goal. Go to our Twitter page, at Let's Good Olds Pod. Vinny Parisi has that goal. Sweet goal for Team USA as they bounce back and beat Team Swiss. Canada, I mean, talk about Austria. I'm not talking about shrimp on the barbie or, kangaroos. No, I'm talking about Austria in the World Juniors, getting their butts kicked in. I mean, it is just unfair. Unfair. What was the score? 11-0. Team Canada. Team Canada avenging the loss. Some say that they got hosed by the refs, but that's part of the game, isn't it? Anyway. Dave Singer's in the group right now. Checking the Facebook Live. Facebook Live. Happy Devils Thursday to you, Mike Rossi. Steve Tardis. Steve Tardis is going to the game on January 1st. The winner of the JCB Architectural Fan Contest, winning the trivia. Ty Smith, 2-point night, calling it, says Steve Tardis. Nemitz has been a better story. Luke has been caught on defense. Look, it's going to take time, folks. But, yeah. And let's get to our last topic, Jesper Bratt. January 1st is looming, folks. Looming. I don't know. I think Bratt already has the deal done. I'm speculating, so don't tweet it out there. Sam Wu says the deal's done. No. I don't know. I just got a feeling like, look, the agent, Bratt, they're on agreement. Let's get a deal done. And how much should the Devils pay for Jesper Bratt? That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. But if Bratt starts to really produce, although he's kind of tailed off a little bit here and there, but if he starts to really produce like what he was doing in the beginning of the season, his stock will be high, and it would be a big payday for Jesper Bratt. Oh my goodness, says 8-8. 8 years, $8 million. I think that's still a little steep. But it coincides with Jack Hughes' contract. Jack Hughes, the face of the franchise. Jack Hughes, his next contract, he's getting a big payday, assuming that he's going to be the stud that he is already for the next 8 years. But the Devils are going to be fine, folks. I think they're a little bit ahead of schedule. I know we just want to get to the playoffs, but they need to toughen up a little bit. And hence the dads and the mentors are on this trip. If you read Catherine Bogart's article, yes, Catherine Bogart, who made her first appearance on the State of the Fan address not too long ago with Nick Villano and I, wrote a piece about the Devils' dads and mentors, people that are male figure, father figure in their lives, being part of this trip. I think this is a great thing. I'm all about family. Anybody that knows the Let's Go Devils podcast, behind the scenes, family always comes first, and health. It always has, always will. And it's good that the Devils have their priorities. And I think it's going to be a very fun trip and a good trip. And, you know, Dave Singer says Miles Wood's dad looks like he could lace them up now and contribute now. Yeah, Miles Wood. Randy Wood used to play, I think, 12 years in the NHL. Steve Carter says we need beefy forwards. Hope Palak can play hard with Hughes. Steve Carter said 56 needs to be moved down now, except for the defensive zone. I'm assuming you're talking about Eric Holla. But, yeah. Just a programming note that we will be at American Whiskey on New Year's Day. And that week, well, we may have something special going on. Well, there's a Devils-Rangers game. It's going to be crazy. Steve Engel's comment. I don't want to repeat it, but that made me laugh. Yeah. All right, well, that's all, folks. The Woo Report, dropping it on our podcast pages, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart app, Amazon Music Prime, Audible. And before we go, I just want to let you guys know how appreciative the podcast is. Last night, the last few times we were doing these American Whiskey podcasts, you, the fans, come up, approached us. And we really appreciate the support that you have given us throughout our existence. Started out as three Devils fans at a bar talking Devils hockey. And now this podcast going into 2023, it's a big podcast. And we love our Devils fans. And we love the enthusiasm. I saw Novak, Ryan Huttner, met Ryan Huttner's sister, people coming out to American Whiskey. They also came out to, in Mountainside, the Stagehouse Tavern, where Arlette sings. We got a lot of good friends of the podcast. But it's really cool. I mean, it's a labor of love what we do here on the podcast. What we do it pretty much every day. I think we don't like to make claims, but I think we are 365 days a year of Devils hockey. But I think we're more than the podcast, and the podcast is going to be growing. And we want you to be part of it. And just can't thank you guys enough, because sometimes, like tonight, I wanted to go to bed because I'm an old man. Devils aren't on. You kind of get bored, but you got the Woo Report to do. And you guys drive us, and I know I talk to Shorts Guy often, Beer Baron, Vinny Parisi, Nick Villano, Scotty. You guys make this podcast fun. I really, really appreciate that. And after meeting quite a few people at American Whiskey that drive for a living, working the graveyard shift, working in the middle of the night, their full-time jobs, or they're holding a couple jobs, and making us part of your day, even in the middle of the night. We don't want to stop that. Really appreciate, very humbled by it. Because a lot of these, a lot of truck drivers, probably the most unappreciated job. But you guys make everything go. And we salute you, the seventh skater, the New Jersey Devils fan. And on that note, I'm going to take one. Craig Bear says, can we get Alejandra on the podcast? She works hard, and she's a natural superstar, and she's Devil's Army. She gets the whole scope of the fans. I will ask Alejandra if she wants to come on to the podcast. I've been teaching her about Devils hockey. She loves the Devils fans. We've had Peyton on as well. We should also get Mariah, Frank the Tank, Casey, all those good friends of ours at American Whiskey. Dave Singer says, Rangers lose. See you tomorrow. Chins up. We'll win the next two. Thanks so much, Sam. Dave Singer, thank you very much for letting me know. The Rangers lose. They get nothing. Good day, sir. Or did they go in the shootout? Then they probably got a point, but whatever. You get the drift. Alrighty, folks. And Craig Best says, get the whole crew on the show. Yeah, we have Ariel. We've got Aaron, Dennis. I'm starting to get these names because usually when I'm there, I'm just like, bloop, 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 trying to put everything together as well. And we're going to try to get back our guests on as well. So I want to thank all those tuning in, especially you truckers out there, and those fans that come from long distances like Ryan Huttner, all the way 3-4 hours away. And don't forget the Virginia Beach crew, Kayla, and I forgot the other name. Crap. Now I sound like a jackass right now, but anyway. All right, you guys get the point. All right, the Rangers got the point. Whatever. So they got a point. Not a big deal. Ramona, let's go Devils. All right, I'm gonna hit the music. We're gonna have a new music catalog here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Lots of things happening. Keep it here. Keep it real. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.